to give you guys the get and check the incentive list. See if we have anybody that didn't pass their incentive check for this week. And it looks like everybody is in the clear. Perfect. Very, very good stuff right there. Um, is that a user? Okay, okay. Very good stuff right there, man. Everybody's in the clear once again. That's awesome. So it makes our job easy as me as Stephen A. Smith and you as a user. You don't have to worry about me bothering you for no reason. Georgia defeats Kentucky 31-3. Duke falls to Cal. This was one of our few computer, and he spoke about this matchup. Obviously, we don't go in depth with computer games with users, but we do pay attention to those games when it comes to a loss. So I'm gonna play the video and let you guys hear what the head coach of Duke had to say about this matchup. You guys know Duke been doing a lot of talking, and unfortunately, it kind of cost them a little bit against the computer. Take a listen.
Stephen A., bad morning. It's not even worth saying good morning. I'm gonna keep this short. I'm gonna keep this succinct. When you talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk. And here at Duke, we have spent the last 6 weeks talking the talk, and I've now got to walk the walk. I'm pulling into the facility now. I'm pulling into the facility to burn the game tape. I'm pulling into the facility to run these boys until they throw up. You're about to hear it. Hold on. You may hear it. You hear that? That's coming into the facility. It's 5:51, the day after this abysmal showing. Everybody that needed to be yelled at was yelled at. We are running the table the rest of the way. That was abysmal. I have no idea what people were thinking when they were doing certain things, when they were calling certain plays, when they were throwing certain passes, when they were hitting certain holes, when they were overrunning uh, running lanes, when they were everything. Weren't filling the gaps when they needed to be. Weren't firing off the line when they should have been. Just abysmal. Coach Combs is not happy.
So you guys just heard Duke right there speaking out about the loss that they took against Cal. We did interview Virginia Tech last week, and he recently wanted to talk about his matchup last week. So we're going to go ahead and get his interview so you guys can take a listen to hear what he had to say about week 6 real quickly. He didn't want to be on the incentive ineligible list, so he did everything. I mean, not Virginia Tech, Texas Tech. So he wanted to be sure to fax that over to me ASAP. So I'm going to pull his interview up. One moment. All right, take a listen. This is Texas Tech speaking out about the week 5 matchup, and then we'll get right to week 6. We'll get right back on track. Texas Tech, where you are, where you are. Texas Tech, Texas Tech. There you go. All right, so he ran through TCU. He was about to be ineligible, but he did respond to me on time. I just didn't get a chance to get this to you guys. Take a listen. But unfortunately, he didn't do what those other guys did. He went on and handled his business.
Hey, Stephen A. Thanks for reaching out. So, I'm real proud of my guys. We went into a rivalry matchup, a tough one at that. Both teams coming in 3-1. But the praise really goes to our offensive and our defensive line. I think the defensive line did a great job getting pressure, giving our DBs some opportunities to take advantage of. And, our O-line did an amazing job, not just clearing holes that you could drive a truck through, but also keeping our quarterback more than upright. real proud of those guys, real proud of big brothers taking care of their little brothers. Look forward to our next matchup, and I'll see y'all in the playoffs.
All right, so that was Texas Tech. Speaking out about week 5, we are in week 6 recap, but he wanted to go ahead and keep his eligibility. So I wanted him to go ahead and still finish his homework, and he was able to do so. So he remains eligible, and he still have a chance to play for the money. Then we had Virginia Tech. They fall to Wake Forest 2017. There was another computer loss this week. Then we had user Miami and Florida State. We did interview both of these guys. Um, Miami, before I get these interviews to you guys can see Miami fell 7-28 to Florida State. They were scoreless after that first quarter. Florida State really got the job done in that second quarter, scoring 21 points and then being able to score one more time in the third quarter. They also won in the turnover battle. Let's take a listen to hear what Florida State had to say about this matchup, and then we'll keep this thing going. Florida State. I mean, yeah, right. So let's see. Okay, so we didn't get Florida State, I don't think. Okay, so we must have interviewed Miami. Miami. Yeah, so that's right. So we did interview Miami, and we did interview FSU too. So let's take a hear what Miami had to say about this matchup. Okay, so he haven't responded yet, so we're gonna see how long it takes him. That is Miami for this week, this week 6 recap. And if he says, "Hey brother, when do you need my response?" I'm gonna just tell him he can respond by tomorrow night, if possible, and then we'll just add it to the week 7. So since we okay, so let's say FSU. Okay, so let's take it here. What Robo had to say about this game.
Yeah, man, we weren't sure what to expect coming into this game. I haven't played Miami's head coach yet this dynasty, so we started off a little slow. Ended up being 7-0 Miami at the end of the first. We made some adjustments. I ended up getting lucky on a quarterback fumble from Castellanos, and Williams ended up picking up, going 65 yards for a touchdown. That kind of changed the momentum, and ended up shutting them out the rest of the game.
You have more to say.
The guys played good though. It was nice to try out a new playbook, try to get comfortable in something offensively. But we're looking forward to the rest of the season. I think my next user matchup is Clemson, so it's a big game coming up in a couple weeks. So see if we can.
He spoke about consistency. As you guys know, he has a history of winning championships. He was Alabama last year, and seeing him get back in the win column is no surprise. They was able to really get a lot done in the past game, and so that's really where it came down to. Miami just pretty much couldn't get anything going. And as I said before, he will have his interview finished probably for tomorrow night. So we will add that to the next week's video. All right, and then we're gonna keep this thing rolling. We had USC beat Maryland 33-7. Nebraska beats Indiana 38-13. We had Michigan and Oregon. This was a user and user. Michigan is ineligible this year, but that I warn Oregon to look out for Michigan as they playing as if they are angry right now. 3 interceptions by Michigan, Bryce Underwood, and then I think Oregon. Yeah, so they both traded interceptions. Taking a look at the rushing, Oregon was able to run the ball very well. This was a shootout. Well, I was about to say both opponents ran the ball well, but unfortunately, no. Oregon was able to not only force turnovers, but limit them in the run game, but they couldn't stop the highest paid NIL quarterback, um, Bryce Underwood, from doing what he is very good to do and what he's paid to do. And so they just fell short. It wasn't like they didn't play a very good game. They played well. Maybe the fact that they didn't score anything in the fourth quarter, they wasn't able to finish. That was really the biggest difference in this matchup. So it looks like it was just about who had the ball last in that one. But shout out to Oregon. Oregon been playing. You so right. Or shout out to him. He's been playing very well lately. Then we had Oklahoma beats Kent State 35-7. Alabama runs over Vanderbilt 56-3. Clemson beats North Carolina 24-13. SMU beats Syracuse 38-6. Texas A&M beats Mississippi State 35-10. Then we had user Colorado and TCU. This was a fairly dominant game by us. We was up 38-7 in the first half. As you guys can see, the score got closer in the second half. We benched our guys late third quarter, and he started to make a big time comeback. As you guys can see in that fourth quarter, he was able to score 28. I won't say that I wish I would have changed the statistics as far as um, you know quarterback decisions. I benched Julian Lewis because he was going off 322, four TDs, no interception. And I said, I'm gonna just sit him down, and that's when TCU was able to get on the run. When it comes to these conference games and getting closer to the playoffs, we have to be very careful with going up big and then slowing down. But overall, it was a very, very good game. I didn't interview TCU, obviously, because it was a real, real tough loss on their behalf. We got everything going in the pass game. Two receivers with five catches or more, close to having three 100-yard wide receivers. We had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight different receivers to have a catch or more. Player of the week right here was Dallin Hayden, 14 carries, 106 yards, four TDs. He played lights out. We wanted to run the ball a lot better than we did last week or been doing lately. I feel like we don't want to be one dimensional. So we was able to run the ball very well. Shout out to Juju Lewis, though. He played great. Texas Tech in Houston. Texas Tech wins this one 42-7. We had user. I interviewed both of these users. We had Texas and Florida. I was very, very high in this one. I actually was wrong because I picked Texas to win this matchup. But unfortunately, they end up losing this game 28-51. Taking a look at the box score, you guys can clearly see they just was scoring one touchdown each quarter. Florida was able to really get it going in the second, third, and the fourth quarter. Turnover battle 5-1 takes that. I think that takes Arch Manning out of the Heisman talks. Um, I was very, very high on Arch Manning. But unfortunately, five interceptions. It's just not you can't win like that. Florida was able to still create some opportunities to run the ball well. Their quarterback threw 265, four TDs. DJ Lagway been playing very good as of late. I've been watching him. He's been playing good. I did interview both of those guys. As I said before, let's take a listen to hear what LSU let's take a listen to hear what Texas had to say about this matchup.
Yeah, man, we went into a tough environment and didn't execute. The guys in Gatorland ready to play, man. We're gonna take that one on the chin and we're gonna keep the ball rolling. Oklahoma next on the list. Hey, we're gonna take it though.
So you guys just heard very emotional um, report right there from Texas. I can clearly see he was very emotional. and he pretty much gave us a 19-second response. But we're not putting no rule on that as of right now. As long as it don't become a norm, but you're gonna have to be able to talk after your loss. But unfortunately, big upset. I mean, this was a man come to the podium immediately after a loss, wanting to talk to Stephen A. But it's part of the contract, you know. So I'm gonna let it slide this time. But if it become a norm, then we're gonna have to do something about that. We did interview Florida. Let's take a listen to hear what Florida had to say. Um, no. Florida is ineligible, so we're not talking to him. He has a lifetime ban. So, but congratulations to him for um, doing what he was supposed to do in this matchup. Let's see, we got and then we got Kansas State and Baylor. Kansas State wins 31-14. Penn State and UCLA. I did interview both of these guys. Penn State been playing great football as of late, been running the ball well. Nicholas Singleton was, and I'm sure he may be still leading the Heisman race. We're going to take a listen to hear what the UCLA had to say if he responded back. Let's see if he was able to get back with me yet. I don't think he did yet. Um, UCLA. Two-time Benny hasn't responded to us yet, but he will do it tomorrow. So that will go to the next video for week 7. We will take a listen to hear what Penn State had to say in this huge win, 33-21. Let's take a listen to hear what he had to say.
Hey, what's up, man? Another great win for us at Penn State, moving us to 4-0 in the conference and 6-0 overall, with two of those being big wins against users on the road. Always a tough place to play in the Rose Bowl, but we were able to move the ball really well. We scored on every drive through 3 quarters until I was able to really put the game out of reach and just try to run the clock out. Had a good day in the air, going 19 for 22 and 3 touchdowns, but was honestly really impressed with how our defense stepped up. Outside of a big play on his first drive, I think I sent 6 on a blitz. We were able to shut down his run completely and get a ton of pressure on Nico, keeping him uncomfortable and a bit predictable in the pocket. We'll enjoy this win, but we're on to Maryland, and thanks for having me.
All right, so you guys heard Penn State speaking out about this matchup. A couple of things that he mentioned. They was able to get things going in the pass game, 19 for 22. That's pretty dang good, 86% completion percentage, and then they was able to run the ball very well along with passing. Very, very big win right there from Penn State. They're still undefeated, so we'll see how long that goes with them. Then, okay, so we don't have any problems with the incentives this week for 2 weeks in a row. So that's always great. Taking a look at let's see if we have any more interviews before I keep it rolling. We do not for this week. All right, so let's go with, hold on, wait a minute. Okay, so Oregon did give us his interview. I interviewed so many people, man. Let's go to Oregon for week 6. Gave us an interview. Let's see what Oregon had to say about the big loss, man. Very, very tough one right here. He sent me an essay. It's okay if you do that if you guys want to do it, but I prefer the voice because it's easier and it's simpler. But Uso is old school, man, so I can understand. So he says, "Hey, Stephen A. First off, I want to say hats off to Michigan's coach for the great comeback. We were rolling most of the first half, passing and on the ground, but I knew it was going to be hard to keep the lead without a fight playing an elite team. Second half, we were having a hard time figuring out their passing attack, and it hurt us, but I don't regret how we played at all. And I'm proud of how the guys have stepped up and played so far, especially Noah Whittington. He has stepped up and ran well while uh, Mackay Hughes recovers from injury in the D line. D and zone and still had trouble stopping their passing attack, and it only gets tougher from here. But we will continue to fight to get the respect Oregon deserves. Go Ducks! So shout out to Oregon. Shout out to Oregon, man. That's a very big one. It's good to be motivated, and so shout out to them. Top 25 right now, we got Georgia moves back up at number one. Penn State, Clemson, LSU, Texas A&M, Arizona State, Kansas State, SMU, Alabama, and Florida. Then you have Notre Dame, Texas, Texas Tech, Oregon, South Carolina, Michigan, USC, Nebraska, Ohio State, and Iowa State. Then you got Colorado, Ole Miss, Missouri, and Navy, and Oklahoma. Taking a look at the players of the week, we had Brent Austin, 6 total tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 TD. Then you had wide receiver Keyshawn Singleton, 7 receptions, 91 yards, 13 on average, 5 yards, 5, I think, yards TD or something like that. 5 receiving TDs. Wow. Damn, he actually played great. I thought I was tripping when I read that. Taking a look at the Heisman race as of right now, Sam is continuing to move or tax his way out of the Heisman. 2 weeks in a row where he's been going down in votes. Emmett Johnson moves up. Emmett Johnson has moved up a little bit. Kanye, Udo, Jeremiah Love, and Nicholas Singleton all for the second week in a row remain the same position for their Heisman race. Taking a look at the recruiting, see if anything has changed. Top 25, we got Georgia, Penn State, North Carolina, Michigan, Alabama, Washington, Florida, UCLA, Nebraska, Texas A&M fell out of the top 5. Very surprised to see that, along with Nebraska moved over Texas A&M. Then you got Rutgers, South Carolina, SMU, Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Clemson, Michigan State, and it gets on interesting down there. But I'm very surprised to see, and even LSU kind of fell a little bit as far as recruiting go. Michigan is moving up, um, Washington. So I'm very interested to see how long that's going to take place as far as that go. Taking a look at the standings, see if anything, any shipments. Not this, I don't even know if that's a word. ACC, you got Clemson, SMU, Florida State, Boston College, and Duke. Duke fell out of the top 2. Duke was number 2 last week, and they fell down to top 5. We'll see how long that works. They say they're gonna win out. American Conference, you got Navy, Memphis, USF, North Texas, UTSA. Big 12 right now, you got Arizona State, Kansas State, Texas Tech, Colorado, UCF, Iowa State, BYU. Right now, it's still going to come down to UCF, Colorado, Texas Tech, Kansas State, Arizona State. We'll see how long that goes, but we're getting into conference play right now. In the Big Ten, you got Penn State, USC, Nebraska, Michigan, UCLA, all in the top 5. And you can't even forget Oregon and those teams down there. But really, it's coming down. It's starting to shape itself out. Penn State, USC, Nebraska starting to shape themselves out. Michigan, unfortunately, are ineligible right now. But, I mean, hey, you know, they're still playing like they're trying to win. These guys here still winning. That's Penn State, USC, and Nebraska. CUSA, you got Sam Houston, Florida International, UTEP, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State. FBS Independence, you got Notre Dame sitting by themselves, trying to, I guess, continually play. Miami University, Buffalo, Ohio, Central Michigan, and Toledo. In the MWC, you got UNLV, Boise State, Colorado State, Hawaii. Pac-12 right now, you got 2 teams haven't started conference play yet, but Washington State is leading. SEC, man, this is one of the most interesting things that I've been trying to stay up to date with. Let's see, we got Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Alabama, and Florida. Look like it's going to come down to Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M, and South Carolina. But I mean, you can't sleep on Ole Miss and Alabama, nor can you sleep on Florida and Tennessee, especially after Florida took down Texas. Texas was number 2 last week, and LSU has moved up. So it's going to get interesting that SEC. Taking a look at the Sun Belt, everything's pretty much the same over here in the Sun Belt. Games of the week we have for Week 7. We got Texas A&M and Florida. Florida just came off a huge win against Texas, and this is a SEC matchup right here. I don't know why I keep. This is an SEC matchup right here. Um, Man, it's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna go with Texas A&M, and I say that without confidence because Florida's shown me that they can win games. It's unfortunate that they're doing what they're doing right now, being ineligible lifetime. But hey, you never know, man. I mean, the man is trying to ruin everybody's dream. So he took time. He took down Texas. If he beat a team like that, he can beat Texas A&M. So I'm gonna go Texas A&M, but I wouldn't be surprised if we back here next week talking about them upsetting Texas A&M. So if you Texas A&M, you better be very very careful. South Carolina and LSU, I'm going LSU, no hesitation. LSU been playing great football. They have too much speed, and they're going to be at home. It's just I don't think South Carolina have enough really to put up a fight. Bama and Missouri, I'm gonna go with Alabama in this one. I feel like Alabama is trying to get their way back the um, into the playoff and get back into the playoffs. So I feel like that they have to beat Missouri. Not to say it's going to be a gimme. Then you got Oregon and Ohio State. This is going to be another battle, man. Uso Rider's shown that he can compete with the big dogs, only losing by 4 points against Michigan. But Ohio State going to be at home. They're going to have that crowd. They're going to be loud. They're going to go crazy. And I just think it's going to be a little bit too much for Oregon. I wouldn't be surprised if they prove me wrong, but I'm just going off of my real honest opinion about that matchup. Taking a look at the team statistics to see what's actually going on with these teams. I hit the wrong button. I apologize. I be trying to keep it fast. Sometimes I get backtracked, making mistakes. Um, Offensively, you got Arizona State, Florida, Georgia, Southern Miss, Nebraska, all in the top 5. They have the top 5 offenses in the league. Taking a look at the defense, the number 1 defense right now is Nebraska, Oregon, SMU, Georgia, and Clemson. Makes sense. These teams are in the top 25 right now. Georgia's right there, sitting at the number 4 slot, being the number 1 ranked team in the national conversion rates right now. You got Texas Tech, Colorado, UCLA, SMU, and Florida as far as conversions. Red zone offense. You got Arizona State, Oklahoma, Utah, Wyoming, and Oklahoma. Arizona State sitting up there by themselves with the red zone efficiency. Penalties. That's who got the most penalties. Hawaii, Kansas, Arizona State, San Diego State, BYU. Who's the first user with the most penalties? Let's see. First user would be Oklahoma, and they have 18, so it's not bad. I mean, well, 18, 3, 4 games, 5 games. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. 18 and 5 games played. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Turnovers right now. Um, let's see, turnover difference. You got Ohio, Alabama, Texas A&M, West Virginia, and Minnesota. So if I'm not mistaken, they protect the ball. They don't make unnecessarily penalties. Who gives up the penalties? I mean, who gives more penalties? And they're Texas. They did throw 5 interceptions this past week, and so you add on that, LSU is one of them teams that's turning the ball over a lot as well. I'm very, very surprised considering what they've been able to do this year. But they may want to limit that. I'm surprised we're not up here as well. Interceptions, we got Texas, LSU, TCU, Clemson, and Ole Miss. So they have turned the ball over a lot. Um, we haven't really. Really, it's been the backup quarterback, but defensive interceptions, right now you got TCU, Ohio, Boston College, Baylor, Bama, Georgia, all of them having that. So that's very interesting right there. I like that. Taking a look at the coach stats, I know it's still early right now, but you have um, some coaching stats to take a look at. Let's see who is in the A pluses. Okay, so you got Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, um, Kyle Whittingham, Mike McLeod. Okay, so it's an interesting list right here as far as coaching. Um, I was just interested to see that offensive coordinator. You got Ohio State is A plus right now by themselves as far as offensive coordinator, but the job security is kind of rough right now. But then you have Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, Bama, Clemson, LSU, Oregon. Georgia, Miami, Michigan, and Oregon, so on. Defensive coordinator in the A pluses, you got Penn State sitting there by themselves. Then you got Notre Dame, Clemson, Georgia, Bama, Michigan, Ole Miss, and Texas. Very interesting, man. Just kind of just checking these certain things that we haven't seen before. Um, we start looking at records and stuff later. I think that's pretty much it. I think it's going to be very, very big games this week for week 7. I'm gonna definitely keep you guys in tune with everything that's going on around the league. We're on our second week without an incentive issue, so it's great. It lets me know we're doing everything, we're going in the right direction, and it makes me excited about breaking the news to you guys of how much money this national championship gonna be. You guys going to know that when the playoffs begin. I already know it. It's in my head already. I already know it. It's actually in the bank. So it's not like I don't have it. You guys saw me last scream. I had number carrots in my mouth, so it's not an issue as far as money goes. But the money is already in my head. I cannot wait for you guys to know, and I can't wait for you guys to play, man. I can't wait to cover it live. I think I'm gonna do something like StreamYard or something like that, and I'm gonna get a few guys like Young Manning, Massive, a couple guys that want to join, and we can watch the playoffs together, and we can talk about it. So I'm gonna see how we can do that. But I think it's gonna be a hell of a year, man. This year has to set the tone as far as the national championship pot, and then year after year after year, it's going to continually grow. I can promise y'all that. So for those that's still eligible, stay eligible, man, because when you hear about how much money you guys are playing for, it's going to be fun, man. I can tell you guys that. So, and then of course Madden coming up, so we'll be doing things over there. But college football is going to always be here as long as while we keep doing what we're doing right now. The money pot's gonna be amazing. So you guys gonna have to take us out too though, because we're winning. We're sitting at um, 21 right now. So we're 6-0. Although we only played one user, but we're gonna fight. We're gonna scratch and claw our way into that thing as well. So I can't wait to see how this thing gonna shape out, man. I think it's gonna be a hell of a playoffs for sure. And the majority of y'all are going to be eligible, so it's gonna be even more funner. See you guys.